from America's finest city. This is Real Talk San Diego on ESPN 1700.
What's happening, gang? You are back live in the Secret Stash, tracking down some of the coolest local people. Who knows? Maybe finding out some important local things. Definitely grabbing a story or two in the process with the singular goal of leaving you a little better than how I found you. I'm your host, Jesse Ibanez, co-founder of the Greenhouse Group, helping folks get into and out of homes. Rick, you might say that's our day job, right?
Yep.
Located right down here in the heart of San Diego. If that finds you well, my friends, go check us out at thegreenhousegroupinc.com. Find out how you can get your name on our next home buyer or home seller workshop. Coming unannounced and right on time to a spot near you. I actually have a very special guest in studio today. And Rick, your fans are lined up down the street outside chanting your name, right?
You're funny.
There was a mob. We had to actually get you in the back door. Rick Davis, sales director of Pacific Gate in downtown San Diego. Now, Rick, I'm going to volleyball this little lob over to you because I would venture to believe that most people don't even know what Pacific Gate is yet. Okay, now you're a runner inside that race. This is all you do every day, right? So
Yep.
It's not just Pacific Gate. This is also germane to a couple other different things we're going to be talking about today, like ReThink Downtown, which is a big piece of that. Actually, a timely piece. We're going to talk about how we're going to want to get some folks down to the showroom, which is actually closing, the 12th, right?
The 13th,
The 13th, this Sunday, right. So Rick, for folks that maybe don't know you yet, or these projects or these names yet, do us a solid by introducing who you are and what you're doing.
Well, my name's Rick Davis. I'm the sales director for Pacific Gate, which is a project by Bosa Development downtown. I'm a San Diego, I guess, native, you would call it. Been here since the 50s, so seen a lot of changes in downtown San Diego, and really excited to be involved in probably one of the most exciting projects to hit downtown San Diego.
No, you can say the most. Absolutely, yeah.
For now, it's definitely the most.
Yeah.
This is such an architecturally distinct building. It is going to rock the downtown skyline.
Yeah, already has rocked circles, I guess, that are already familiar with when. And its completion date is next year, but have they kind of put a month on it yet?
It'll actually be late 2017.
I'm sorry, that's what I meant, 2017. I'm getting ahead of myself. I think it's already 2016.
Yeah, we're not there yet.
Right, so late 2017 completion date, right?
Yeah, we're about 2 years away.
Okay, good. Now, if this is something that's on your radar right now, or you're thinking you want to learn a little bit more about how you might be able to get your name on one of the interest lists, we're actually streaming this whole show live right now over on our Twitter handle at Follow the Stash. And you can see our handsome, dapper guest, Rick, right here in studio. You can even ask any questions. We'll tweet them live. We'll get them asked and answered live as well. Or you can call in the old-fashioned way. We're at 866-405-1717. Now, Rick, let's start with the ReThink game. I think that's a good sort of baseline to draw this conversation out from. So ReThink is what?
ReThink Downtown is a public exhibition in downtown San Diego. It's in the old Palladian Mall building, if anyone remembers that. It's on the corner of First and G.
First and G, right.
And it's an exhibition style, almost a museum style exhibition on the downtown San Diego skyline and how it's changing. It kind of goes through a short little history of how we got to where we are as a downtown environment and where downtown San Diego is going from a design and architecture point of view. So really stepping onto the world-class stage of architecture, which San Diego hasn't gotten there yet, but we're ready to enter that world and become what we describe as a superstar city.
Wow. Okay, so you just loaded that comment up with all kinds of things I'd love to actually sort of extrapolate a little bit. So let's start with the context of what somebody's going to get when they go down to that showroom, right? So first of all, like we said earlier, it's actually shutting down on Sunday.
Correct.
Okay. Now what that means is all of these tools, resources, cool stories you can derive about the history of San Diego, et cetera, are going to then be repurposed down into what's probably going to end up being the sales center for Pacific Gate, right?
Yeah, the ReThink Downtown Gallery will get retrofitted and reopen early in 2016 as the sales center for Pacific Gate. But for now, it's the ReThink Downtown exhibition. This was curated by a group from all over the world. There were people from London, New York, Vancouver, San Francisco, plus local San Diego people that all helped contribute to the exhibition. And I know we've had over 5,000 people come through the door in the last 2 months since we opened. So very excited about the traffic, and it's just evidence that people are really excited to know more about what has gone on and what will go on in downtown San Diego.
And I might be going off on my own riff here, but the historical element of San Diego is something that I think is super interesting. We've got so many different derivations of that story. I mean, you can go all the way back to Foley's Flop or Foley's Folly. We were talking about just before the show started. To then Horton, a more seminal piece who kind of, as you said, brought the downtown to the waterfront and was really the I don't say he was the archetype, but basically his vision was what then predicated everything that we see it as downtown today until now.
Yes.
And so now you see all the towers popping up everywhere. And as you said it brilliantly, San Diego stepping into the world-class stage. So for the rest of us, right, for the lay listening in right now, like, why is that important to us?
Well, a vibrant downtown is important to any major city. And one of the things that we find is when you think of great architecture, it helps define a city. So when you think of New York, or you think of San Francisco, or you think of London, or Hong Kong, or Dubai, or Shanghai, or any of these world-class cities, typically buildings come to mind. And San Diego hasn't really gotten there yet, but they're getting there. And this is the first what we call super prime building to be constructed in downtown San Diego. And super prime is a building that is built and designed to world-class standards. The architectural firm that designed this company is based out of New York, Cohn Pedersen Fox.
And then also Chris I'm not going to be able to pronounce his last name, right? Chris Diakos Architecture? Those were the two that signed on.
Correct.
Yeah.
They are in partnership with KPF.
Okay.
KPF is the lead architectural firm, which is the Cohn Pedersen Fox, and they're world class.
Yeah.
If you go on their website, you'll see buildings that they've designed all over the world. The Shanghai Trade Center, just rock star. We call them rocketechs. They're rock star architects, and it's just amazing. So we're really excited to get a building of this caliber in downtown San Diego. We haven't seen it before, and this is what it takes to become a superstar city. And a superstar city is a city described as one that has high demand for living, constrained housing, and is typically on the coast. And San Diego is stepping onto that stage now, along with other major cities across North America and around the world.
I didn't know that was actually a container. So it's got like parts to it.
I guess. Yeah. Somebody's description of it.
Somebody's,
anyway.
yeah. And I love that thought. I mean, the truth is that we're young.
We are. We're a very young city when you start to look at major cities across the country and the maturity of our downtown. San Diego got kind of a late start, a lot of it because of the military commanding most of the downtown San Diego waterfront. Yes, for many, many years during the middle of the last century. So, so one of the things that's really exciting is San Diego is truly getting a world-class architect-style building at a young age, which to me tells me we're going to get a lot more of it. You look at other more mature cities that are built up, the opportunity to get world-class architecture means probably tearing something else down. We're more of a blank slate.
Well, and if Bosa has anything to say about that, I mean, man, we were joking earlier that pretty quick he's going to own the city. I mean, he's already responsible for 7 projects that are complete, just down in that little square radius chunk. And you said that there's a couple more coming up on the docket. We have time to expound and get into all that stuff. But I love that concept, too, because, for a long time, we've always been considered as the toolbox skyline. Have you ever heard about that? Have you heard of that?
No, I haven't.
If you're watching Monday Night Football and they do that classic little shot of over in Coronado looking at our beautiful cityscape, you can see that the Hyatt looks like a flathead screwdriver.
Oh, yeah.
And then there's the ratchet
and the cheese grater, they call it.
Yeah, exactly. Right, exactly. Jeez, that's good. I haven't actually heard that one. That's good. So now we're finally on the map. So, forget about going down to those architects' website. You can actually go down to your website, which is the Pacific Gate by Bosa, right? You
can, or we actually have the ReThink Downtown website.
Or you can still go to the ReThink.
Yeah, rethinkdowntown.com is the website that's really active right now with a lot of information on it.
That's got way more information. You're right.
And that'll drive you and really hopefully inspire you to come down and visit downtown or the ReThink Downtown Gallery before it closes this coming Sunday.
Which is the critical thing we want to make sure that we drive home. The Pacific Gate if you look at it from the top, tell me more about the inspired by seashell design. I think that's so cool.
Well, if you come to ReThink Downtown, you'll hear we have some videos of the architect, the lead architects, talking about it and how they were inspired by the ocean and this, what he describes as a double-nested curve architectural design that they came up with to help kind of tie the land and the sea together. So it's a very, very unique design and unlike anything we've seen in San Diego, that for sure.
Well, I love that thought. Rick Davis, sales director of Pacific Gate, and I'd say more timely, representative of getting your guys' you-know-what's down to ReThink Downtown San Diego. And by the way, if you want to learn more about exactly where that spot is or maybe some of the reasons why you might want to come down before they actually fold it up and repurpose it here come Sunday, go to rethinkdowntown.com. Or there's actually a phone number, too. I think we pulled off the site, 619-795-3612. So, Rick, I feel like the stage, you might say, is set for us to get a little bit deeper about this particular project. So, gang, let's do this. We'll say, coming up, a little bit more with Rick Davis on ReThink Downtown San Diego spot. The urging of you to make sure that you go down there and check it out so you can know how San Diego got to where it is, where it's heading, and then you can watch how it's literally growing right before our eyes into a world-class architecture, and the chief project on that list being Pacific Gate. So more with Rick Davis coming up right after this. Real Talk Radio San Diego. Thanks for hanging out.